there's probably a hell of a lot more, but I'm going to give you 5. Trust. I absolutely believe that we need to trust each other, not only across the federal sector, but across all the sectors. It was really interesting. I mentioned the NGAC meeting a couple of times. So we're up in Shepherdstown. It's like this 2-day retreat type of thing. And Jack Dangerman's on the NGAC. And I can't remember if it was the afternoon of the first day or the beginning of the second day. And he was sitting in the front row, and he basically turns around. And his message was basically, get over it. You know, yeah, we haven't realized the vision of the NSCI. But there's plenty of blame to go around. You know, we've all stumbled. And we've all not lived up to what we probably could do. You know, get over it. This is the new opportunity. I think that trust is going to be essential. It's not going to be easy. And I think the common understanding flows from trust. When you are willing to say, okay, I'll trust you. I'll trust your motives. I think coming to a common understanding. I believe that we don't have an effective understanding of the other parts of the geospatial community. I'm not even sure, as a federal employee, I work at the state and regional level, that I have that good of a feel of really where the states are sitting, or where the private sector is sitting. And I think until we have that common understanding, we can't reach a shared vision. We can't really identify the shared opportunities, and we're not going to get the shared commitments. And I really dug the guy, the keynote, but that's a no-brainer statement. Understanding precedes action, but that really resonated for me. And it seems to me that if we don't understand where we currently sit in the U.S. with our geospatial infrastructure and what everybody has to offer, we're not going to be able to move. The third one is open governance. This cannot, I don't know how many people here have felt, this cannot be a federal-only activity. That is clear. We've heard it point blank from many other sectors. And I know we can change the way we do governance at a completely different scale. My tiny little office, the NOAA Coastal Services Center, our unifying geospatial activity is called the Digital Coast. And the Digital Coast has a board of directors that is 6 partner networks. NISJIC, National Association of Counties, American Planning Association, a couple of others. We also have a contract with the private sector. And we bring all these constituencies, multiple layers of private and public sector together to achieve a common goal. It can be done. Now that's a project. It's a lot easier than solving the federal agency's roles. But I think we need to take a run at this. Technology, again, I was pretty wild. I don't have the opportunity much anymore at all to really do any hands-on GIS. I was really impressed with what I saw in terms of the technology just here at this conference with ESRI and its business partners. And it seems to me that we have the tools to get in there, that we could maybe envision reaching what we're trying to do in the platform. And then lastly, leadership. We need real leaders. I think it's not a leader, it's a collection of leaders, and I think it's a collection of leaders across multiple sectors. Is that okay?
I'll keep you on.
All right, so if we do all that, what can we achieve? And these are pulled directly from the document. Shared leadership and true partnerships, open and transparent government. We have access to the data, the services, the applications we need. We'd be sharing infrastructure. We'd be more interoperable. It's kind of nirvana state. Save money, expand the geospatial marketplace, and then maintain global excellence. I mean, there's no doubt. A lot of other countries are moving forward on their SVI initiatives. And I think we are in a position now we can really learn. And I know I was heavily engaged. I think there's some real lessons learned there. So my last slide is my next steps in a couple of words. First and foremost, we've got to get this document released. And we're hard on that. And then it needs to be reviewed. And it needs to be reviewed broadly and deeply. I think it needs to go out to all the communities. And it's like comments from the gentleman here in the second row. I mean, that's the kind of feedback that we need. And I hope that we're going to get it. We're going to engage. Stephen Lowe leads the GIO, USDA leads the outreach and communication effort. Has a whole approach right now for how we can engage more broadly across the various sectors. But once people have a chance to review the document, then we start the discussion. We refine the roadmap, and then ultimately we act. Because at the end of the day, I believe, that's what I want to see out of this effort. Will we reach the nirvana end state of this grand vision of the platform? I don't know, but I think there's a hell of a lot that we can do, nuggets in this document that we can achieve if we're willing to take a shot at it. I'm not normally this optimistic of a person, to be honest with you. So if you haven't seen it, there is actually a website. There's nothing on it. We got the URL. I don't know if any of you guys have ever tried to get a .gov URL. It normally takes like months. We got this in like 72 hours. So it was all of a sudden, Joe Klimovitz, who's the NOAA CIO, said, okay, we got the URL. What are we going to put on it? I don't know if Dina's still back there, but what we originally launched was the oil spill mapping application. And boy, did that cause a lot of heartache, because when you went to geoplatform.gov, the first thing that came up was Google Maps, oil spill Deepwater Horizon, and the number of emails and phone calls. So this is the platform, and that didn't help. The oil spill platform, geoplatform. But this will be a point. This will be the place where we will add content and grow this out. I think I'm done. I'm going to turn it over to either Jean or Jean's first. I appreciate the attention.
Thank you.
Well, thanks. That's the most I've really learned about that, so I really appreciate it. Good. Will work. Kind of. I guess most of you know who NISJIC is or what NISJIC is, but just in case, we're a bunch of GIS coordinators from different states. We strongly advocate for GIS data and technology to improve government. That's what we're all about. We really, we've had a number of meetings where we've discussed the NSDI, and we as a group strongly advocate for the concept of an NSDI, whatever it really ends up being. So I gotta say, just one other thing is we put ourselves through, we came up with a bunch of criteria for what is successful governance for GIS at the state level. So, and this led to the FGDC helping us out with the 50 States Initiative, et cetera. So we put ourselves through that. So I'm really glad to see that some of that process where you're really starting to identify what the strategic plan and drivers, who your stakeholders are, and how those stakeholders, if it's not relevant to them, then you're kind of going from the top down and nothing's there to connect to. So I appreciate hearing that. And I guess along those lines, I've got to say that between being here at ESRI for this conference and seeing or hearing about ArcGIS 10 and the possibilities there, and then this, between the development of GOS and the lines of business, just seems to be there's a lot of convergence potentially going on. And I think there's some real opportunities here. And I've got to say, this is the most optimistic I've felt about this for quite some time. When I got asked to speak, I put some emails out, so some of what I'm going to say is in response to what I've gotten back from our district leadership. We're encouraged. We believe this could be a really good resource.